Today's video is how to pray with authority. Now, I'd like to talk to you, the parent, who hears that, but don't always understand how to actually walk in it. And that is praying with authority. Because when you hear that, it can feel a little unclear. Like, am I supposed to say certain words, or what does that actually look like? And if we're not careful, it turns into pressure where you feel like you have to pray the right way or say the right thing for something to finally change. But that's not authority, that's effort. And those two are not the same thing. Authority is not something you work up, it's something you stand in. It says in scripture, Luke 10 and 19, I have given you authority to overcome all the power of the enemy. So authority is not something you're trying to get God to give you, it's something he already gave. The question is, are you standing in it or are you trying to strive for it? A lot of parents are striving in prayer. They're trying harder, praying longer, repeating the same things, but still feeling unsure. And here's why. Authority doesn't come from intensity. It comes from alignment. Let me show you what I mean. There's a difference between praying from pressure and praying from position. Praying from pressure sounds like, God, please fix this. Please change them. I don't know what to do. I need something to happen. Now, there's nothing wrong with being honest, but if that's the place you stay in, you'll feel like you're carrying it. Praying from position sounds like, God, you see what I cannot see. You are already working in this situation. I trust you to move where I cannot. Do you hear the shift? One is trying to pull something down, and the other is standing in what's already true. Scripture says in Hebrews 4 and 16, let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence. Confidence comes from knowing who you're approaching and where you stand with Him, not from saying everything perfectly. And this is where many parents get stuck because they're praying for their child, but they're still thinking from fear. So their words say one thing, but their thoughts are pulling them somewhere else. And that creates tension. That is why 2 Corinthians 10 and 5 matters. It says, we take captive every thought. Because authority isn't just in what you say, it's in what you agree with. Let me make this practical. Let's say your child is making choices that concern you. Pressure sounds like, this is getting worse, or I need to do something before it's too late. And then your prayer comes from that place. But authority sounds like, God, you are not limited by what I'm seeing. You can reach them in ways I cannot. Bring clarity where there is confusion. Interrupt what is not aligned with you. See, same situation, different position. One pulls you into fear and the other keeps you grounded. And that is where authority grows. So let's go deeper. Authority also means you're not trying to control the outcome or the person. And this is important because sometimes what we call strong prayer is actually control in disguise, trying to make something happen, trying to get a specific result. But that's not your role. Your role as a parent is to stand. Scripture says in Ephesians 6 and 13, and after you have done everything, to stand, not force, not carry, stand, and trust God to do what you cannot do. Now, let me show you what this looks like in a real moment. Let's say your child says something that triggers you. Pressure reacts immediately. You respond quickly. You try to correct it. You feel the urgency to fix it, right? But authority pauses. It notices what's happening internally. It slows down and it responds from a steadier place. Sometimes that means speaking, and sometimes that means staying quiet. But it's not reaction, it's alignment. And this is what I want you to understand. Authority is not about doing more, it's about staying in the right place internally. So if prayer has been feeling heavy or like you're not doing it right, come back to this. You don't need more effort, you need alignment. You don't need to force anything, you need to stay positioned. And when you do that, your prayers begin to feel different, steadier. So, in the next video, we're going to take this one step further. I want to show you how to stop coming into agreement with fear, especially when it feels subtle. Because once you understand that, your peace starts to stabilize in a different way. But for now, just remember this: you don't have to force your prayers. You just have to come back to where you're standing. And that's where your authority is.